So, a very big welcome, everyone, this evening to the meeting of Pennine Ham, and delighted to welcome Emil DL8JJ, of whom I'll just say a few words about in a second. But good evening as well to those people watching us live on YouTube, alongside those of us in the meeting live tonight. And of course, I'm sure we'll have many more viewers over the coming days and weeks on our YouTube channel as well. I was very, very pleased that Emil was free this month to come along and give us a talk. Emil, as people will remember in this room, I'm quite sure, was part of the three-man group of people a couple of years ago who made, in my view, one of the most extraordinary DXpeditions that's ever taken place. I know people have been to much rarer places in the planet, much more remote, perhaps in wild places in the Pacific or near the Antarctic. Rockall Island is only an island up in the North Atlantic Ocean. But goodness me, how difficult it was for Emil, Nobby, Styles, G0VJG, and Cameron to make the landing on there and to set up a platform up there with their sleeping tent up there, and to get radio antennas up and get themselves on the air and survive for 5 days operating, making thousands of QSOs. That was quite extraordinary. And one of the things that I know we appreciated over here, and I know Emil did as well, is that we had meetings before the DXpedition and after the DXpedition. So Emil was able to come along in advance to talk about what they were hoping to do and how they were hoping to do it. And afterwards was able to come back and talk to us about what they had actually done in practice, what went well, and any of the problems that they had. And of course, made a superb film as well of many of the events that took place while they made the landing and whilst they were on the rock. So we all remember Emil DL8JJ from that, and a number of people do follow DL8JJ on social media and his various expeditions he makes to other parts of the world. But in particular, he made an expedition last year to Burkina Faso, and it's that Emil is mainly going to talk to us about tonight. But I'm absolutely certain, knowing Emil, that he'll also be very keen to mention one or two of the other events that he's taken part in other parts of the world where he's operated radio. So without any more ado, Emil, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you for everything. Thank you for inviting me here, and I'm happy to be here and talk to you and all other guys about the very interesting DXpedition that we had. So I wrote some documents about it, but I'm very happy to be here and show some pictures, a short film at the end about the people and the country and history and how we done it. After this DXpedition, that was for me a big question: how can I put the name of the DXpedition? And so I found the best name of the expedition on Up and Down the Expedition. Why? I'm sure after my speech you will understand why the name of the expedition I thought on this way. So there is nothing much to say about me. I'm a lovely climber. I love to climb, to go on wide places worldwide. I'm a mountaineer guy, and in my free time I'm working also for House Excursion, and this is a company that I'm working more than 25 years every year as a mountain guide on wild places worldwide. I was in Iran, I was in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, I was in Kamchatka, and the last 3 years I'm mainly on polar cycle. The second hobby, ham radio, and the combination of this in all situation and direction with SOTAs, IOTAs, and all what can do. When I'm not going on the expedition and I'm here, I'm working 8 to 10 hours a day. This is my first shift on 24 hours on the day. Then I have around about 2 hours of climbing on gym inside, or I going somewhere on the rocks near Frankfurt here and make a hard training because it must be. And the third shift of the day is to make plans and for the next the expeditions, for the next climbing experience and so on. That's my life. I love it, and our wonderful hobby meet people like you. It's really amazing. I love that hobby. It's not just about the QSOs. It's just about the people that I met on my way, and I will take all that picture and my last seconds of my life before I'm going to die. So, but we want to talk now about the Burkina Faso the expedition last year. It was very interesting, exciting place and exciting the expedition. For me, start the journey on 29th of October. I was work 8 hours on that day, and then I took the bus, because with the bus it's cheaper than going with the fly from Frankfurt to Milan. And in Milan, I met my family, the expedition family. I saw that because since 3 years I'm going on expedition with MDXC Mediterranean, the expedition club. And I have found a family in these people there. There is a core team, and every year just come 1 or 2 people, new people to us, and the culture and all that what I have there. I mean, it's really amazing, and I love to see the people and to do it were equal what is the expedition and or something or something else. When we meet there we go to Milan fly to Addis Ababa, and from there we go to fly to Ouagadougou. This is the capital city of Burkina Faso, and you can see on the map where Burkina Faso was. Last year we was in Cameroon, also here you can see it also, but that was a completely different way to be. Our team leader and Dario, logistic and organizational guy, he climbing also, and we have much fun on all the expedition. Technical manager Marco do all stuff about the technical, about the antennas, all stuff with computers and so on. They managed everything. So what we need is just to take a small baggage with us, and in Italy, in Milan, we take 2 bags per person, 23 kilograms maximum. This is our equipment with us for the expedition. I must say this is just mainly shortwave the expedition what we're doing. But I do the expedition, AMA the expedition into this expedition. So I'm only that care about that stuff with the AMA, about the equipment, about the planning, about the communication, everything. It's just to the expedition into one together. So if I have some trouble or problem, then nobody there they can help me, because the expedition is 100% concentrated into the shortwave. But I'm more welcome with AMA, and we are happy to have in our the expedition AMA. And so that's mean the time when I'm there, I sleep just only 1 hour per day, maximum something like this, or 2 hours. And all the other time is just to be on the radio and shortwave shifts. And then after that, so round about 8 to 10 hours on the moon. A little bit eating, conversation, and of course I will take every time the time to manage to go outside to see the people how living and so on. And it was here also very well. So Vlad was also in the CW thing. Danny was also with us. I know him since 2 years, and we became a big friendship, and we had a lot of fun together. Francisco, Gil, Sorin, SSB, that was a new guy with us. Dario, James, and Eric. And Richard was also a new guy in our team. He take with us a Cool 100 setup, and at the end of the day, we had on the expedition we had so around about, I think, about over 1,000 QSOs over Cool 100, and of course the Peter from the Germany. That was the team. When I start my trip, I had two bags with 23 kilograms, and that was the maximum that I can take with me on the airplane. All that stuff is just AMS stuff, from the mast, from the antenna, from all that stuff, from the beginning until to the end. And now many people ask me, how can you manage everything? So that's the big plus for me, because I'm training with climbing, and to take my stuff from the bus station to the bus, it took me many minutes, because with so round about 70 kilograms, I can move all my stuff, so round about 20 meters, take a rest, take the stuff, go to 20-30 meters, take the rest, and so on and so on. The fly, you can take just only 7 or 8 kilograms maximum with you as hand baggage, and now I can say I had around about 17 kilograms with me. So many people ask me how you manage this, and you have some problems and so on with the customers there. But every time I do a list of all my equipment, and I put on the corner over there government equipment. I take some stamps from my local club, and I put how extremely important is that this equipment is government equipment. It's not government, but it's my equipment. But on this paper, with some stamps, 2 or 3 stamps on each corner, I can take this equipment with me, because anytime when someone make a trouble with me, I ask, okay, no problem, this is not my equipment, and I must care about this equipment, because this is a government equipment, and the cost is so more than 10-15,000 euro. If you can 100% be sure that you can care about it, I can give you, and you can take it into the airplane. But most of the people say, oh, no, I don't want to care about it, just take it with you. And this is some tips for people that going somewhere, to take more kilograms in the hand luggage than it is. The Italian guys are so lovely guys. It's a warm welcome from all other side. My trip was 12 hours into the bus, and then the people there was completely perfect organized. They took me from the bus station, and the first stop was to take a cafe and eat something, and then all team we met there, not so far. It's about 30 kilometers from Milano, at the local club there, and you can see there is a small room, I'll say small room, with the radio stations there, and of course a big room with eating, with drinking and wine, and we had the big and nice support from the people from the club. So we met there, so some presents. The reservation were welcome to all people from the DXpedition, with some gifts here. Antonio says some words to all of us, and then so at the evening we go to the airplane, and we start the show. of course, with many big baggages on board. And so after we arrived the Burkina Faso, that start on that point the adventure, the big adventure. Africa, it's a special kind of destinations because it's the adventure start when you are there. It's not like some destinations. They are very far away from Europe, and you need 2 or 3 or 4 days to go there. But there you're sure everything is fine. The Africa is a special thing because these adventures start there, and when you come on the next steps, you don't know what will be happened, and that's the main point. So we just come on the airport, and it took so around about 2 hours to take all our stuff, and the customers there have had to check everything, 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bags, 4 bags, and so on. So many times. After that, we take the bus, and so we was also around about 2 hours in the special custom office there, and they check really everything. So absolutely everything with the numbers on the radio station. So, and after that, it took so around about all day. We had to arrive our lodge. This is the Grand Kalau. It's directly into the state there, and the interesting thing is that when you go in a lodge like this, inside of the lodge is everything is like in Europe. It's like a 5-star hotel. You have everything. You have air conditions. You have perfectly eating. You have the eat is delicious. Everything is just perfect. And you go just 1 centimeters over outside of this lodge, and then you can see what's happened. Outside of the walls, there is a big dust and garbage everywhere, chaotic traffic and stench. That is then what we found there. It's Africa, it's the same. This is the Africa. So that was the team that we wait for our custom check there, and we took the time to pick some pictures. So welcome to Africa. One of my best friends for many years, it was Frosty K5LBU. He taught me on the first expedition in Lesotho in Africa, and he told to me, Emil, when you go to Africa, you have just only 2 opportunities. You will love Africa, and we will go every year and often as possible, or you will hate it, and you will never ever go there because it's just amazing to be in Africa. Everything is special. Everything is it's others. It's just another planet when we see what we in Europe have. So this is the lodge. We have all perfect so opportunities to put antennas, to rest with air conditions and everything. My first goal, anytime when I go to this expedition, is to find the right place for the EMA, because the EMA is something special, as I told you, and the first thing is to looking for all antennas, and we have many antennas for short waves. We have verticals for low bands. We have special verticals also for higher bands. We have 4 hex spider beams. We have 1 hex beam. We have many antennas, and these antennas should find some place inside of the lodge. So on Burkina Faso, that was a great thing that I found a small room. It was the laundry room, I will talk with the local guys there if I can put a table and to make my AMS setup over there. That was no problem. In 5 minutes, they found the new table and put it there. And so I arranged my AMS stuff inside of this building. The problem this was there was no air condition on that place, and the router for internet was very far, was from the other side of the lodge. And anytime when I was had the thing to communicate with the rest of the world, that was go outside 10-50 meters, so that receives a little bit internet, put some messages inside, go inside here. Then every 10-15 minutes go up to the flat roof. That was great because the flat roof, I had the opportunities to put the antenna, and it was just around about 15 meters from here over on the top. And in the night when we was there, that was the one of the best position for the AMA antenna, because I had the free slot over 20 degrees and then from the other side down to 20 degrees when the moon was present. So the problem in the AMA is that I cannot plan the DXpedition special for AMA. I just take the dates for the shortwave DXpedition, and then so I must fit it inside. So when you see this table, you see that we had a very bad, the worst condition that you can have on AMA. So this red line, you see it's maximum. So it's mean that the moon is opposite of the sun. And in Africa, the sun is really, so you see the big sun. It's not like when you go somewhere in the north or in big south of the earth. It's just amazing big. You cannot see the moon, and the noise is as incremental, really very big. But now when I went back and see what I done, I'm very happy that that I had the opportunities to do very nice and interesting AMA QSOs. So the first thing, of course, I put my antenna by myself, so I don't have any support from the other guys, because they're busy with antennas, with radios, with checks and so on. Everything is fine. I arranged this, we arranged this, and everything is good. But anytime I found some guys from the locals, they can helped me, so more or less. And in the night, I put my antenna the first night, and I was on the air. So the problem was 2 days after I put the antenna in Burkina Faso was great. We had a very good weather. Every day was the same weather every day for all that 10 days. We had about 35 to 40 degrees centigrade every day. It was really, really very hot. It was completely quiet, the weather, but on that day, suddenly just come a strong wind, and so put my antenna down. That was the first step that I saw and say, oh, I must do something. But I had the luck, because nothing was broken, and so I put the antenna down, arrange everything again, put it again up, and after 3-4 hours of arranging, the AMA antenna was back on the air, and I was on the air over the moon. And that place, I must say, many thanks to SSB Electronics, because SSB Electronics and Michel, DJ6 Mike Charlie, that support, and all the team, of course, support me with a low noise preamplifier for AMA. And that was amazing stuff, and it is amazing stuff, because that is with very low noise preamplifier, and it's worked all the day like a champ. Really, 1000 watts. I put it from a power amplifier into it, and that was no problem all the way. And you can imagine that this preamplifier is on the roof, and you have all the day, so around about 40 degrees that's coming from the sun. On the shortwave, you see, it was our shack. We have two shacks, two separate shacks. One was for digital modes, and one for the digital SSB and CW. We have 4 working places, and all of us was arranged on 3-hour shifts, go and then take a rest, and 3-hour shifts, and so. It was a lot of cable on that point, because the lodge is big, and I don't know how much kilometers of coaxial cable we had. But every time when we just come, we put a single small vertical antenna and start to work the Q source. So 1 hour after we was in the lodge, it was the opportunity to start to work on shortwaves was here. So this is the lodge. You can see the spider beam antennas. This big tower is not from us. It's just telecommunications in Burkina Faso, and some stuff for vertical antennas for the low bands. This is our shack when you see from the left side, and in the near also 3 spider beams. I had a receiver also great support from the German Telegraphy Club, and I was very happy because so I tried to spend every single cent for the expedition, for some activities, go to the mountains, go and make some sotters and iotas and so on. And in my personal life, I've never sleep in hotels. Most of the time, 99%, I'm sleeping in my car. It's just combi, it's not a big, but I can sleep well, and the journey and the adventures are most important thing for me. That was my working position on CW. We had the TS590, we had the ARCOM amplifiers on the boards, and we run so around about 600 to 700 watts all the time. And that was great. So one of the interesting things was that we had a meeting with the local university club. They just come, the young people from there, they had a big interest about the ham radio. There was official stuff from the telecommunication. Everything was just fine. That was 3 days after we start to work, after we put all antennas. We have arranged everything. That was perfect arranging everything. And then Dario, Antonio done a perfect presentation about the ham radio, what we are doing, what is the QSO. So really nice thing. But now come just the interesting thing of this DXpedition. In the middle of this presentation, we had policemen, 2 guys. They just come and interrupt all that stuff, and they wanted to check everything what we have. That was a really crazy stuff, because the first stage they have to check our passes, our visas, everything. Then after that they say, all people should go into his rooms. And Eric was with me on the same room on 7RN, and we shared a room. So we went in and waited. Just wait into the room. You cannot go anywhere, and you must go, and you must stay in the room. So after around about 10 minutes, the policeman come into our room and checked everything, our pockets. After artwork, we had also some pictures on the wall inside of our rooms. They check behind if there is something, and after 10 minutes of watching, they say, okay, thank you, everything is fine. So that was a crazy story at the beginning. They say to us, okay, everything is good, everything is fine. and just went away. That was so middle of the day. At the evening, they just come again and just say everything must be down. Just stop all that expedition, no more on the air, nothing. And they put everything into the suitcase. We disengaged everything, put everything into the box at the same like as we just come in. That was crazy. And everything is empty, and not just only the equipment. So I mean the radio station, cables, and so we musted to put all our standards down. And you see on the picture, that was the second time that I was in the night on the flat room and put all my stuff together in AMA. We put everything, all antennas, all cables, everything, put it together. And on the next day, that we done it over the night, and the next day we should go to the police officers there. This is in downtown. So like in Africa, you have to wait, nobody tell you what's happened. And so around about 2.5 hours, Antonio and Dario was to visit the boss there. And the boss say, hey, sorry for everything, you can go back and you can start to work again, everything is fine. So we was very happy. We take the bus again, just went to our lodge, but our equipment was not there. They took all that equipment from us and put it somewhere, we didn't know where. So we started again to make many telephone calls with different kind of people, and just wait and wait and wait. For us, for me, it was very important to connect to the German embassy. For luck, we have in Burkina Faso, in the capital city, the German embassy. And so we had Peter and I, as the German guys, we had contacts all the time with the German embassy, that they know where we are, what we are doing, if there is some more problems or more and more. Because we had the information that the group, touristical group, 1 year before for our DXpedition was there, just touristical people, nothing with radio or something like this. They was arrested for 4 days, just for 4 days, into the jail. And the jail in Burkina Faso is not like a jail in Germany with, say, 5-star hotel. It's just really a jail. And we had the fear that something more could be done with us. We didn't know what will be happening next. And we spent round about 2 days and 2 nights just wait until we had the opportunities to take our equipment back. So that was a Thursday and the evening, and we had to receive allowing to receive our equipment. All through the location was only 12 kilometers away from our lodge. That was something like a garage or something like this. No electricity, nothing. All our equipment was there, was inside. Never was touched. It was never touched, the equipment, but everything was there. Also headphones, everything. So, and if you believe me or not, on the last 3 kilometers before we reach our lodge with our equipment, we had suffered 2 flat tires. That was also something crazy. And after that, we start again to put all equipment again at the evening with the first antenna put on the air, start it again, like 4 or 5 days before, started again on a short waves. Then I took my equipment, put AMA again, and start to be also an AMA. So it was the 3rd time that I was put down and up my equipment in AMA, and the 2nd time for the short wave guys. So, but we had a lot of fun. That was interesting because we was very cool at that moment. we had everything. We had permissions, we had everything, but that was the situation there. And you can imagine in Burkina Faso, there is four different policeman governments. So one is the policeman government for hotel policemen. This is the people that the policemen that they go from hotel to hotel and check the hotels, check the touristic people there, and so on. The second one is the security policy. Sorry, security policy. And the third one is the army. They have also, they can also say everything. And the last one is the something like private policy. That's the people, they say, oh, the other police stations are very bad. They cannot secure us. We will do our own police stations. And at night, we will secure our homes and so on, blocks and so on. So, but anyway, after 2 days, I was also on the air with Emil. We was also on the air with the shortwaves. And that was the great. But of course, it was the last 3 days. We had just 3 days until to the end of the expeditions. And the time fly was very quickly because we had this interruption, and for us it was very important that we don't we don't share the truth about the expedition, what they happened. And we decided to share on all social medias that we have a power cut problems, because we didn't know what the government there or the policeman there will do with us if they check all what we are doing, if they check our accounts, or if they check our DXpedition in Facebook, so information and so on. And that was a good, very good decision for us. And so now, after the expedition, I wrote some articles in the German press and also in the NDXC and said the XFC in USA with all that true. And this is the true. The true was that we have a policeman problems. And this is the Africa. Africa is, like I told you, something special. On the AMA was very interesting, but also very hard, because on these bad conditions, the first day, it was so for 5 hours beyond moon, it was just the opportunities to make 2 or 3 cursors. You can imagine what is the difference between 5 hours go into the shortwave and do thousands of cursors for 5 hours, and just sit on the AMA and hope with the next signal, with the next period, that you can catch another station. But at the end of the expedition, the propagation was better, like the first 1.5, 2 days, and the last 2 days. And on this 4 days, it was for me a good luck to do 47 cursors over AMA. It's not a big deal, but on these conditions, all people that made with me cursors are very happy. And of course, I'm more happy than everything, because it worth all that stuff, all that money that I was put it into additional stuff, additional technique, additional baggage, and so on and so on. And every cursor on AMA is something special. You can imagine that you have around 750,000 kilometers to reach the Earth again, with a signal strength of minus 250 decibel, making a cursor on this way is simply fascinating for me. And so the Burkina Faso was activated 10 years, I think, before, from German guy over the AMA. He became ill, and he done also something around about 50 cursors. So we had together good stuff now, and so I have some nice cursor cards received two days before, and I will send to all guys over the AMA. Just only AMA signed it from me because it was something special. These 2 days that we had without any equipment and without any ham radio activities, it was also nice because we use the time that we sit together in the main room. It was not a room, it's outside, and to make the friendship deeper and deeper, and to talk about so many interesting things, to share different kind of experiences in CW and AMA, in Q100 and SSB, about propagation, antennas, and so on and so on. And that was fine. The second evening, as I told you, the Italian guys just took wine, and we had a very warm atmosphere there. So we had a great expedition, and we done more than, I think, 75,000 cursors, and I'm sure, like last year, if we had the time to work 24/7, that we had to reach the same score like from Cameroon, and to put over 100,000 cursors on the shortwave. Shortly about the FT8. So many people just are not so happy with FT8, but it's kind of mine. I mean, FT8 take a place in the last years, a huge number of people that working on FT8 because it's easy. It's you can reach a destination like this if you don't have a big antennas and you don't have too much time to sit on the station and calling for hours with a couple of watts or 50 or 100 watts. And this is just new DXCC for you. And I mean, that's this is a big plus. I don't do FT8 on this DXpedition. Mostly I'm on CW and do AME. But I can understand so many people that they have perhaps ill problems with the air and so on and so on, and they just make a cursor with us. I saw last year for first time we had the first DXpedition that done most of the cursors was on the FT8. Of course, we try to do another kind like RTTY and PSK and so on, but it's not like 10 years before with RTTY. RTTY was the main digital mode on the DXpedition. Now we have FT8. What will be happen in 10 years? Nobody know, but at the moment it's worked. And so that's the situation that we have. Additional stuff, of course, was also very nice that I had also opportunities to meet people from the lodge. There was two guys, Abubakar and Peter. Peter helped me very much on the AMA to support me with some stuff and so on, to care about my stuff there. And that was very nice, very, very kindly. Abubakar is one of the guys there. They're working in the lodge, but he have a lot of connection everywhere. And he organized very interesting trips into the town, and we had the opportunities to visit many interesting and special places there. So he had also support us on that hard time. He have many contacts all over there, and so I think he had one of the main person that we receive our stuff after 2 days back without to pay something, without to do something more. Of course, we paid 2,500 US dollar on the customs there. We just deposit there. And when we went back and on the customs, we take it back because all our equipment was with us, and that was no problem. But we had, of course, support from the local guys. They know some people there and calling somewhere and there and there at the end of the day. everything is working. But this is Africa. Africa, you don't know what happened on the next step. You can have a big luck with everything, but you can have not good luck, and you can go to the jail, or your equipment is confiscated and you don't have anything, everything is go away. In that point, we had a luck, I can say, because so 2 days, of course, off, offline, but we had the luck after that, and it was no problem to go back to Europe. So now I will show you a short film, so around about 10 minutes, about the people there, about the history, because it was very interesting. I love this, but it's not for me. It's not a journey. It's not like a journey for the expedition and QSOs. For me, it's very interesting to know and to see the people, how they're living, what is the problems that they have, what is the dreams they have, and so I will say then you see now we can enjoy the film. There is so many smoke there that the evening you cannot break when you are going on the street. This is a normal driving busy, but it's really, really crazy.
So, was haben wir jetzt hier? Kann jemand dann raten? Jawohl,
Fitness Gym.
ein Fitnessstudio. So, hier trainiert man dann auch in Burkina Faso. Harte Jungs. Ja. Außerhalb unserer Lodge. Das pure Leben.
This is outside of our lodge. So, it was the film about the people. I have a full size film with all that stuff, what I explaining with driving and so on, antenna putting, and so this is around about 45 minutes. And I will show it on ham radio fair in end of June this year. So if you want and if you are there, all will be fine that we can see it together live. So I think at the end of the year we'll put the film also completely on YouTube, so that everybody can see it if they not come to ham radio or something like this. Everything is fine, and you can see more live pictures and live movies from our DXpedition. But I think so my English is not so good, but I think you can understand what interesting this this expedition was, because you just come into one land, into Africa, and every single step you're not know if you go left, right, behind, or go ahead, and you have no problems, or you have a big problems. Because if you have a big problems, nobody will care about you. It was very funny when we was on in the police station. The big boss, they come with a big car. The security car was a jeep, and that was a military people all over there, and the people, the policemen people made it everything so clean, all people clean. They just drive into the police station. They just go out from the car. That was security staff also there, and they come just to us and say thanks, hello, thanks, and that was. But the interesting thing was that this car was did have a sign. There was no sign. It's a just car without any sign. I have never ever saw something like before. And after that, you can imagine that if this car have a sign, it could be possible, and it's very possible that someone noticed this car number and tried to do something with him, And that's because there's a lot of cars like this. The bad people, I will say bad people, did not know who guy is inside of this car, you know. And that's so you can think about how the people are living there. We had many contacts with the local people. That was interesting how they thinking about to come to Europe. And most of the interesting thing for me was to visit the National Museum. That we saw from the museum, these buildings there. This is not just building for 1,000 years or 2,000 years that they use it. They use it now also. They're living in the same building like this, like in this National Museum are. We was inside. There was how they living as a family, the children, and so on and so on. It's completely easy and very, very extremely basic inside. And also between this time that the people had for thousands of years and now it's just now, but there is a big history, like in Europe, for example. When you take 1,000 years, Europe was here, you have history, you can go to Paris or to national museums, and you know what happened 100 years before now, and in the past, and 200 years and 300 years Renaissance, and everything. You have a really you can write just a book, a big books, or many books you can read about the history of Europe or on the other kinds. Just hundreds of books for one period of, for example, for 10 or 20 years. There you have this old Burkina Faso and modern Burkina Faso. Modern Burkina Faso is the same like the old Burkina Faso. The Burkina Faso was French colony, and now they are free. We saw the heroes, but the interesting thing is that you don't see any history between this time or during that time. Now when you drive on the streets, you can see the same, these buildings without current, nothing, no electricity, nothing. And on the left side or right side of these buildings, you can find the perfect new buildings like in Europe. When you go, for example, in a big malls like here in Europe that you have, and you can buy everything, you just go inside. There is a guy, military guy, with a really big gun. I mean, really big gun. There is all over are guys with the big guns there, and they check your passports. They see if you have a money, and when you go inside, you're like in Europe. You're like in every shop like that we have here, with all that stuff what we have. And most also important, with the same prices like in Europe. You can buy Maggi, you can buy, I don't know what's, everything what we have you can find it there, plus a little bit from local stuff, but most of the time, most of these things you can find it there. And this is the interesting in Africa, because in every single point when you're there, you can watch, and every time you can say just, wow, I never seen something like before. Wow, show here. You can I never see something like before. And I was in some countries in Africa, not too much, but some countries in Africa what I was visit. And there is, of course, when you go from country to country, you see some difference. But the Africa is one big continent. It's a continent. It's a really big continent. And there is this African mentality. And you can find this African mentality in all countries. The people are extremely friendly, and you will help you day and night without to take something from you, or you have a big trouble. that's the main interesting thing. You can adventure there. So I think that was on my side. I have short, just 1 minute presentation at the end, where I'm going next. And so now, Nick, we can open if you have some questions or just to say something, everything is fine. Nick?
Nick, you have to unmute.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Emil, thank you very much. That was an extraordinary contribution tonight, and an incredible DXpedition to participate in such a poor country. But the pictures you showed, that film got us very, very close to how people live there. It was really evocative. So congratulations to you on that. And I think all the radio amateurs in this room will feel your pain over the time it took you to take everything down that you'd put up, and then to then go and find it and then put it back up again. That must have taken every single bit of patience and reserves that you had to do that, to get back on air again. But I think you didn't say it quite in that way, Emil, but I'm absolutely certain you did exactly what the police told you to do. I think Burkina Faso is currently a military coup took place very recently, I think, and there's been a number of them over the years. So I think it's a very sensible thing when you're in a country like that, that when the policemen come to tell you to do something, you go and do it, rather than risk anything else. So extraordinary. Should we just can we just see if we've got anyone with any specific questions to Emil about the DXpedition, about EME, anything that people want to ask Emil? Put your hand up, wave at me, unmute yourself, and pose the question. Yes, Ken, go on. Go ahead, Ken.
Good evening, Emil. Brilliant. I enjoyed that thoroughly. One of the best, if not the best. Emil, here's a question, and it's to do with you before you went on the expedition. I don't know much about Burkina Faso, but I know it's third world country and there's a lot of health issues. It's one of the worst in Africa with malaria and things like that.
Yeah.
Did you take or were you given medication to take before going?
Yeah, anytime.
Also, did you take your own food and did you take your own water?
Yeah, so medication, yes. In the last years, I was in Africa, in that countries that you have, for example, Burkina Faso, you have 99.9% you have malaria. So the problem there is, of course, that was funny because our room inside the beds, they didn't have this mesh. So I had the fear about malaria, and every time when I'm going to destination like this, I have a big mesh. I bought it here in Germany, and I put this mesh over my bed inside. And every time when I'm going inside, so I put and I'm watching for mosquitoes and so on. Before I go to expedition like this, I go to the to doctor here and take the medicine. Most of this medicine is Malarone. This Malarone is against the malaria. You have also Digi there. Peter was, as I know, took Digi at the end. You perhaps you can see the pictures and my clothes on this picture now. It was the only one thing just to make a picture with the small t-shirts, but normally I have a really big clothes with long arms and so on. They are really step that that they have no opportunities for the for mosquitoes there. And I care about myself because, you know, day and night, when I go all 10 minutes up to the flat roof, put the antenna, go down with my headlamps, and I put so as much as possible here. Or when I'm working on CW station, you know, you sit some like this position, but here everything is free. And I put with the clothes, I put it before with the water that it's could be cold because it's very warm. I mean, you have a really fat clothes, and then you have 40 degrees centigrade. So you sweat inside of the clothes, you sweat. But for me, it was important to secure me against the malaria. After, when I was back again to Germany, you should take the Malarone 7 days long, and after that, if nothing problems, you can stop it. So 3 days before you start the journey, and then 7 days after you come back, take the Malarone with you.
Okay, and food? Did you take your own
No,
or drink?
no,
water?
the food was brilliant. The food was really clean. The water, we don't drink, of course, the water from the normal water, but we had the water like this, just in normal. You know, it's everything is bottled, so no problem with this. We don't have anything. Every day when the local people arrange our eating, everything, the stuff, everything was so covered, you know, and then you cover it up, take something so salad or something like this, so the potatoes or something like this, and put it again, close it again, so it was absolutely clean. That was, I mean, with 5-star hotel, when you inside of the lodge like this. Outside, you saw in the film like the people eating and everything is open, the people just going so without any clothes and everything. But the rate of the dying the people from malaria is really, really high. So, but anyway, the people living there, living 24/7, all these years with generation back, and so they must leave, they must laughing, they must do everything also in the nights when you go outside. You cannot breathe, you know, you cannot breathe. It's so much smoke. It's you never ever I had experience like this. So you cannot breathe. So when you go, for example, to even for something discotheques or some pubs, they're completely full with people, absolutely full with people. So the people have nothing, but they enjoy the life on his own way, you know, and they are so normal. Also, interesting thing was that was interesting for me to be in, especially in this laundry, because the local workers there, Peter and some women's there, they was all the day was the people was there. So I saw on these 10 hours AMA on the position what the people doing all the day. They just come an early morning, they work at so 20-30 minutes to clean so the swimming pool and do something, and all the day they sit on these chairs, these blue chairs opposite of this building, and just sleeping all the day, just sleeping. You know, it was amazing to see the people every day. They just come working 1 hour and then sleeping all the day, and when they wake up, they just take some potatoes and eat something. But not, but our eating was completely different, and I started every day to take from our eating, so arrange something and bring in to the local people there that can eat meat and salad and so on and so on. Because they don't have money to buy something like this what we ate there, no?
Thank you. Yeah, and a final question. I can imagine that the earthing systems is not very good. I can imagine the voltage is unstable. How did you go on with noise level? Noise level on the radio.
You mean in AMA or in the shortwave?
Shortwave for single sideband, that sort of stuff, CW.
So, Africa at the moment, in the last couple of years, so since 4 or 5 years, is absolutely amazing. You have on the low bands many noises, really, really many noises. I don't know if we had the opportunities to do a couple of QSOs on 160 meters, but all other bands from 40 meters up to 10 meters, you cannot imagine how perfect and how big pile-ups you have. My shift was the first shift. I started some 9 o'clock in the evening, so UTC time, 9 o'clock. And I say what I can try at the moment. No, that was the first experience. And so I will take 10 meters. On 10 meters, 3 hours shift. It was amazing pile-up from all over the world. US guys, European guys, absolutely amazing, and you don't have any noises. From 40 meters up, all bands was open all the day. 20 meters was open 24/7. Evening for 1 hour was a little bit close, so a little bit, and in the morning, so around about 4, 5, 6 o'clock was also a little bit down, but all the day was 24/7. 10 meters was open all the day. Absolutely amazing. 40 meters. I run on CW with 45 VPMs. That was my highest speeds from this DXpedition. I done 7 or 8 QSOs in 1 minute, because you have perfect signals. When you run with 600 watts, everybody can hear you, everybody can understand you are here, you are present. And that was really, really amazing. I love Africa especially for that, because you don't need to put antenna here, to put antenna there, or say, oh, just only Europe or just only USA, and you have mesh and problems. You just say, okay, we are here, this is the Africa, and we want to go so north. You can put the antenna a little bit, so a little bit west or a little bit side. But the European station coming perfect. And you have also the American station, also perfect. No problem at all. The low bands was bad. And Africa, I've never imagined that low bands in Africa was good. So that's my experience.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you very much. And exceptionally interesting, Emil. Back to you, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Anyone else with a question they'd like to put to Emil? Yes, Fraser, OZ1JKU.
Well, I would like to just ask if you can hear me. Am I on?
You are, yep. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay.
Yeah, I have you well.
Yeah, good. I just didn't know. I don't use Zoom very often, so I don't know how it works too well. Super video, very nice indeed. Report as well, and the rest of it. Love the art. And the humor, well built, of the video, of the picture you've got. Your men like their beer, I think, in the front of the picture we've got on the screen here. How many QSOs EME?
47.
47. Okay.
Yeah.
And
the
also,
people. Yeah. It was
pardon,
not.
go again.
Yeah. No problem. Go again. Go ahead.
You say what you're going to say, please.
So that was for me amazing experience, because normally when I'm going just for special AMA DXpedition, I will never go on that period. You take the moon data, you put it into 1 year, and then you see, this is the period from this location. It will be perfect from all over the world, and you will imagine this perfect condition. I saw the condition now. I imagine it was able to see and to feel the condition. The first 1.5 days, that was a good condition, but going to be worse. And these 3-4 days that was extremely bad, it was opportunity to do 1 or 2 QSOs, but all people was really buff. They say, wow, we done a QSO on that and this condition, and especially from Africa, because many people told me before I start this DXpedition, I was talk with other guys from the AMA community. They have more experience about the years, and say what I should do. Should I take the AMA setup with me for this 3-4 days or not? People say, oh, take it. It's enough. You can do it. Other people was on the expedition, special AMA DXpedition with similar condition, but they was not in Africa. In Africa, you see the sun. It's a really big one. I have some pictures. I should next time when we see us, or you can send me email. The sun is really big. I never see so big sun like this, and the moon. The first days was day over, you know, so 9 o'clock in the morning until, I don't know, so 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 8 o'clock. All the day the sun was so present, you can nothing see from the moon. The last 1.5, 2 days that I was really starting to be better and better, you see the moon and you see also the sun, but the moon was not opposite of the sun. It was big different.
Yeah. I've been down that neck of the woods, down on the east coast of Africa quite a long time ago in the Royal Navy, when we were blockading the oil to Rhodesia. And I know the sort of area you mean. And Ken has experienced this. The further south you go, Ken, the better the DX, because the noise gets less, and the nearer the equator you are, the noise is even less. So therefore, Emil, you've also experienced that as well on the HF. That's why you said 10 meters was fantastic and all the rest of it. I was not a radio operator, I was a radio maintainer. In other words, if it went wrong, I put it right. But because we were so closely orientated when on a ship, I got to learn how HF propagation worked and all the rest of it. And we noticed this. It was quite interesting. Just very quickly, just diversifying, Andrea, you've been in the wars, I see. So therefore, a little patch on the eye. Hope you get better. Anyway, that's enough for me. Back to you, Nick, and many thanks indeed for a very interesting talk, Emil. Very good indeed. Okay, Nick, take it.
And I can say just short to you. The last first DXpedition, when I done the AMA into the MDXC, now learning, we have a learning curve from that. We should find a good position for the AMA. This flat roof was on the same position, on the same level as the big town there, you know. If this flat roof was not there, I had perhaps the opportunities to see the moon over 40 degrees and down to from the other side to 40 degrees, you know. And interesting, this time the first shack, shortwave shack, was just about 20 meters in the antenna from there. But for lucky, we used bandpass filters. They took a good bandpass filters this time, and I had just only for short time disruption from the FT8 station, because you can imagine you see someone calling you and you see the signal, and every 15 seconds you see on the map on the MHF nothing, and then 15 seconds something, and 15 seconds nothing, and then run out and Antonio, can you please change the band? Can you please put something? Yeah, do it something. Go ahead, go back, go ahead. So really running through the whole lodge looking for someone to change band or something like this, that I have the time to make AMA QSOs. It's really experience. It's a funny situation, you know, everything, but it's a learning curve. And so my next goal is to go to 23 centimeters and to take a small dish with me for the next DXpedition with the rotator. So I can work on 23 centimeters on 1.2 gigahertz. This is my next thinking to go because it's small stuff. I will need, for example, just one bag if I can put everything inside, and it will be easier to put this setup somewhere because my antenna, this is a special antenna when I developed 2 years before with antennas and amplifiers. They have a 10.5 meter boom. It's a really big one. It's light, it's just 10 kilogram. But when you put everything together, it's a really hard work. It's really hard work with this antenna. Or you can take 2 antennas, small antenna, but you have more stuff with you and so on. And that was my decision to take a single antenna with 15 decibel gain and to do the QSOs. These 2 bags with 23 kilograms, it's absolutely minimum that I can take and that I can put it together. There is nothing more to make it better on that setup, you know. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Emil, and thank you, Fraser, for the points you made there. Anyone else got a question or comment to Emil? Jeff, ON8NT.
Okay, Emil, thank you very much. Fascinating and very interesting talk that was. I actually have 2 questions about that antenna. That looks like to be a cross Yagi. Was that circular, polarized, or was there something involved to change polarization? And my second question is, what mode did you use on EME? Was that only CW, or did you also use some kind of digital special modes for EME?
Okay, this is the cross antenna. Yes, you see right the antenna. I didn't use circular polarization. Why? Because on circular polarization I need more stuff. I have from Antennas and Amplifiers, this is the company, there is a box that you can put it and with 2 cables inside and 1 cable, and then you can do circular polarization. But my decision was to do not take this because I have also on the absolutely maximum. My underdress, I have just only 1 underdress in my pocket, and I have just only this clothes that I put it here in Germany, and then when I was back, that was the same clothes because I didn't have the opportunity to take 1 kilo more or something like this. That was the reason that I not used the circular polarization. The second questions, I use JT65B. This is the most common mode in the last years for stations like this, the DXpedition, and you have done the opportunities to work more stations. You have something like 1 minute TX, 1 minute receiving, so 50-50. And of course, when I compare now, after I start now to build my know-how in 23 centimeters, if you have a small dish 2.5 meter, and so around about 300 watts minimum, you can hear your own echo with the CW, and you can do very good CW QSOs, and also in good conditions with a little bit bigger stations you can do also SSB. But on 2 meters I experienced there is no way. Of course there is a big guys that they can do this, HB9 Queen or some Italian guys also. All that guys made the QSOs with me, but for me it's important that I take the antenna and I take the setup and I choose the mode that I give more opportunities to the people to make QSO with me.
Okay, and maybe another question which just came up. in my mind, why didn't you use 70 centimeters? Because the antennas would be smaller, or they would be as big as the 2-meter antenna, but you would get more gain.
Yeah, as I started a couple of years before, I was in Mozambique, and that was my first DXpedition that I took a part also in the AMA. That was a Frank, a very good friend of mine. It was the same like one man, one setup, and he had 2 antennas and a big power amplifier and 2 meters. And I talked to him, and I talked after that with many other people before I start to arrange a setup for 2 meters. And on 2 meters, most of the activities.
Okay.
Now, after we have on the market IC 9700, they have 1.2 gigahertz. And most of the people say, "Pooh, I have so much, so interesting radio. I have 1.2 gigahertz. What I can do with this?" Because to make some QSOs, so recruit QSOs, it's boring. It's nothing. But on AMA, it's completely very interesting thing. And I see in the last 2 years, the community just come more to 23 centimeters, and then that was decision to make a 2 meters AMS setup, and so I need, of course, support, donations, and so on, because I started from scratch, to take all that stuff, coaxial cables with the perfect connectors, not just only connectors for €2.50, just connector for 6 or 10 euro from, for example, really perfect companies with less noises, to take the power amplifier, to take the radio, to put all that stuff, sequencers. It's cost me a really much money. It took me more than 1 year to make this setup and to start this setup, to use this setup. And I don't have too much support, from the community. At the moment, it's also the same. I pay $2,188 in USA to take now a dish, because this is just one company in USA that make a portable dish. It's just 6.8 kilogram. And it's just like umbrella. You put it on the mast, and just put it with 2 arms, and everything is fine. And that's one of the reasons that I cannot have everything. 70 centimeters, yeah. I saw AMA setups, and it's really easy with 4 antennas. You can take it perhaps in 23 kilogram one bag, and everything is fine. But that was the main reason to start with 2 meters, because most of the people have activities on 2 meters.
Okay, thank you very much, Emil.
Welcome.
Thank you, Emil. Yeah, interesting question there, Jeff. Anyone else with a question or comment to Emil? Yes, Adriana.
Yeah. Hi, Emil. I've had a question. Is there no problem with the hotel and the big antennas? I could imagine that there might be some problems. Do you have to contact the hotel in advance, and can they imagine
of course.
how huge the antenna is?
That's of course that it must be. It's a must to stay everything, to arrange everything with the hotel. Of course, they send some pictures. You can see, for example, in Google map, the area. You can see what is outside, what is inside. You can measure, so here and there, and so on. And we have, anytime we have no problems at all with the local, with the hotel inside, because in advance everything is fixed. They know we are 14 people. We need a room with air condition for big room for our stations and so on. And when we come, for example, our check now was just a normal suite. It was something like VIP suite for people, for tourists. But the hotel manager said, "Hey guys, you are here. Just do what you want." And then that was amazing. Like on my side, I just walking around and see this building and say, oh, here could be possible. I was on the flat roof. There was many trash, mechanical, metal things. I cleaned everything, and I say, hey, I want to stay here. They put the table for me, and I receive a key. And anytime was no problem to go inside and to start my radio activities, independent of if the people are there or not. That's no problem. In Africa, when you arrange in advance, and everything is fine, then it's working well. It's working very well. Just one time in Djibouti, we had to change the location because there was some problems or so. And it was too far from the capital city, and we had the fear that someone can steal us or equipment, or it's just not good. Like now in Burkina Faso, you don't need to go outside of the capital city because you are not secure. You are secure inside of a location like this. Of course, outside you see, you heard, you're never be secure. You can go in the jail for nothing and stay there for a long time. But it's just, it's secure than when you go outside and find, for example, location with less noise or better conditions or something like this. But so they organize everything at the first, and we receive April, May, all information where we are going, what is the cost, where visas, and so on and so on and so on. So.
So quite amazing talk, and I'm always very astonished how one can manage to cope with such things as the control of the police, and to have 2 days to be not secure what will happen if one perhaps will be arrested or so.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how I could cope with the situation. So this was also very, very interesting. Thank you for this interesting talk, and all the best.
Yeah, welcome. The situation, of course, they come on the next day. It's a long story, but that was you should try to find someone they can speak on the same level with the policeman. When you go from down and say, hey, I have permission, I have visa, you must give me a back. That's not working. You should find someone that was one of the main guys was in the United States. That was a big boss from the telecommunication. And we had 6 hours time between USA and Burkina Faso. So we had to wait on the last day that we can call him. And he called over the government, really government people, to the boss of the police. It was the big boss. That was the boss of the small boss. The small boss was the main guy that make all that trouble. And after from up, just go down and say, okay, just give the people free, everything that was nice. Because after, for example, after we just come back to our lodge and all equipment was not with us, and the policeman say, no problem, you can start to work, go, no problem, we have no problem. After 2 hours, 3 hours, we call him back. We call him back and say, hey, you say sorry for everything. Where is our equipment? And they say to us, oh, one of your equipment we give us to our specialist. You can imagine it was crazy. They lie. They say we give it to our specialist, and he will show if everything is okay with this equipment or something like this. And after we had many calls and go back and forth and make and so on and so on. That was from upside. They say, hey, stop. Just leave the people take this equipment and start again. 2.5 days.
Okay.
This is Africa.
Crazy.
Brilliant, Emil. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Adriana, for that question. Anyone else got a final question to Emil? I was going to say, Emil, that Ken, G4VZV, operates a lot in Spain, and he's described some of the occasional problems he's had with the Spanish police when he's been operating near the salt lagoons he goes to. But he's always managed to resolve those problems. I think the kind of problems you described in your DXpedition last year in Burkina Faso were on a completely different level, weren't they? You know, so many different layers of police and a state which is not quite like a European or a normal Western state. So you did extremely well, I would say, in navigating your way through that in however you did. Very, very impressive. And I think at the end, you make, it wasn't far short of 80,000 QSOs, was it, on the entire expedition? Was it 76,000 QSOs you made on the whole DXpedition?
Yeah. It was amazing. Just as I told before, if we had the opportunities to work 24/7, there was no problem to reach the 100,000 QSOs on that point. Everything was worked perfectly fine. The technique, everything was good. We didn't have any problems. We didn't have any problems with the current, with the electricity or something like this. We had in the middle of the location. We had a good internet. Everything was fine. So delicious eating, everything good. To just sit there and working. That was on my video, on my film, that I've done it before. So one day before, just I say, hey, now everything is fine. Just only thing to do is go shift, make QSOs, have fun, go back. You can sleep a little bit. On my side, sorry, I go to AMA, have fun on AMA, sleep a little bit, eat a little bit, and go to shifts. And that was the first, but everything was completely different, you know. And after I put my AMA antenna, after this what's happened, I just sat there on the flat roof, and I said to me by myself, well, if I didn't know that I'm not sleeping now, and someone will explain me that I was in the last 2 days, 3 days, all that's happened, I can say, no, I cannot believe you, because it was like you're in a wrong dream. You sit there and say, just a moment, yeah, put everything down. Coaxial cables, we had hundreds, really hundreds of for the verticals, you know, the grounds. We had hundreds of grounds. We put it all together within all that night. At the evening, on that night, on the next day, just go into the shit bus and drive to the police. Things, what happened? Where I am. And I share, of course, with some friends this information, because many people just ask what happened. So suddenly no signals from Burkina Faso. And so all my friends say to me, yeah, I cannot understand, you have all permissions. I say, yeah, but this is Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Emil. Right, if no one else has got any question on this, can we, Emil, do you want to say a few words about what you're doing, I think, in a couple of weeks' time in Norway?
Yeah, just 1 minute. The next, what I want to do, we'll do it as 1.5 weeks. I will go with my best friends by my best friend to Norway, especially for ice climbing. There is a wonderful place to be and climb ice. So waterfalls, freezing waterfalls at the moment in so small village Rjukan. And I take with me the small radio, Kilohoto 1 with me, and I plan to take also the 100 watts station, one station, and so evening or late afternoon to be present on the air. But my next goal, what is the sole dream, is to visit this small island. It's again island. This is Payeta del Moro, Eco United 151 in Spain. It's just 1 kilometer from the beach, but this is everything what you have there. And this island was is one of the most wanted also. Was activated couple of times, but just for a couple of hours. What is my dream, or what I want to do, is just to activate it and sleep there. So this is Valencia, Culera. This is the main small village there, and from there it's just 1 kilometer inside there. So this is the small island. And what I want to do is to climb this tower up, to put special equipment here and to arrange my camp. So 1 or 2 meters over the sea level, and to be 24 hours Curve. Take a 10 watts radio with me. That's enough. Put a small antenna, G5RV, for example, or dipole for all bands over 40 meters, and go ahead. Take a ladder like this for 3 meters and arrange and so something like this. So I camp there to fix on this tower and stay inside for 24 hours and try to make as small as possible QSOs. What I need, of course, is much think the flight, one back transport of 40 ampere lithium battery. I found a good guy that will give me. So company Aramid that can support me, but I must organize the transport from here to Spain. And it's really hard thing. It's really very complicated thing to send a battery over, so to send it like a postal. So that's what I want to do, or what I'm planning now. And so if you or some people can donate and support me with small or more, couple of 10 cents, I will be very happy on emilbergman@yahoo.com and PayPal. And so this project will be, so go ahead. Something so round about April, May, I think, like every year, I will receive the information. At the moment, I don't know really where we're going again with MDXC. And I think the end of the year, like every year, so around about October, beginning of November, we will go in some interesting location, and we'll see to take perhaps the new setup with 23 centimeters or the old one with 2 meters. We'll see what happened, but that's the first dreams that I have. Of course, I have this year also a group in Polar Cycle. We'll take like last 2 years radio with me and do QRP from there, and we'll do also presentation how you can manage QRP from the end of the world, Greenland. So thank you very much.
Lovely. Emil, thank you very much indeed. Even your next few trips are pretty extraordinary, aren't they? So well done to you. Can we show our appreciation to Emil, everyone, for fantastic talk tonight? Thank you.
Thank you.
Emil, it's been wonderful to have you describe your extraordinary trip to Africa, to Burkina Faso, and to give us a flavour of what you're doing next. And I think we've all very much enjoyed it. I can tell both by the questions and people's faces listening to you there that everyone found your presentation amazing, as always. So well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to those of us who are watching on YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. We're going to say good night to you. So good night to our friends on YouTube. And I'm going to close this formal bit of the meeting, the end of our recording that we'll put on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So hope you've enjoyed Emil Bergman, DL8JJ's contribution in the film that you've been watching. And thank you everyone who joined us today. And it's been lovely to have a few visitors. So Mike, DJ6MC, you're still there. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Jim, G3OJI, hope you enjoyed it as well. And to our members and regular friends and contributors, been lovely for you to join us. We'll keep the meeting room open as we always do, but I'll hit the stop recording button and we'll stop the pause the recording at this point.